So this is just a quick wrap up of going on, what has gone on the last week. Obviously, this week was tumultuous. Last week was tumultuous. Our president is leaving on his first international goodwill tour, so to say, um, to first stop Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Next stop Israel. Next stop the Vatican in Vatican City, obviously. Then he goes on up to the NATO uh, meeting or convention, not convention, but the NATO summit in Brussels. Then down to Sicily for the G7 meeting. Um, so, I mean, right now I'm betting short on the dollar. I was thinking, it was crashing earlier this week, and I could have transferred some money, and we finally got up to a rate of 111 to the dollar. And I'm like, no, wait, it could get worse. So I'm holding out to see how bad this international trip goes. And I love my country. I'm a huge patriot, but um, I guess I'm betting against my president. Um, but I'm not betting against the country. It's just the difference. Because the propensity that this fiasco has for um, bubbling him over his words and not being able to complete full sentences and just obtusely insulting people with an ease that basically nothing else he does is as easy as insulting people. He can't put together sentences. He can't apologize. He can't speak to a crowd of people without insulting someone. It's like eating candy or eating food for us with a fork and knife is the way that he insults people. Um, so I'm hope it's not a national crisis, whatever he does, but I have no hopes for him this being successful as far as him being a competent representation of the wills, needs, and policies that the American people believe in. Um, so, wrapping up from last week, again, it was mainly due to himself, like these are self-inflicted wounds that he puts upon himself by tweeting something stupid or asserting that something is absolutely 100% true, and then, hours later realizing or having to admit to the fact that it wasn't true and it's not true, and he's just a kind of special grab bag of put together lies. Pick one out of a hat. What is it today? Oh, monkeys fly. Okay. And so last week was the firing of James Comey. This week he wanted to try and appoint a new head of the FBI, but there haven't been any candidates yet. And then when he fired Comey, he scapegoated the acting attorney general as far as everything goes in relation to the possible collusion and foreign involvement, or even this foreign intelligence Russia investigation. So um, he threw his deputy AG under the bus. So this week, his deputy AG threw him under the bus and announced that he would, in fact, appoint a special counsel to take control of the entire investigation. The special counsel is the former FBI director of the FBI. I hate everyone says his name is Mueller, or they call him Mueller is his last name, Mueller, and the E is there because we don't use umlauts in the U.S. So E grammatically designates the fact that the U should be oo. So he was actually kind of, you would say that they're mentors. Everybody has their mentors. So in the last big scandal of the Bush administration, Comey, him, and their former boss as well, or mentor as well, they were very respected, close-knit group. And so now Trump has Mueller, who has been appointed the special counsel in regards to the Russian investigation. Now, everybody on both sides say this man is absolutely, without question, one of the most respectable investigators and nonpartisan justice officials that the Bureau has ever seen and that law enforcement has had the privilege of working with. So, and not just law enforcement, but lawmakers as well. So it's on both sides. And they say basically he never ends a case without getting a charge of some sort. So this will keep going. So that is where we basically stand this week. At the end of this week, there's still no director of the FBI. A special counsel has been appointed, and of course, immediately after 45 Trump, he tweets about this special counsel, and for the third time, this is the third time he's tweeted the word counsel in regards to a legal representative of the courts, and it misspelled the word counsel. That's just another example of the competency of that man. So we have special counsel. He is leaving on his first international trip. That has got a lot on his docket. Iran is having their elections today, so we'll see again if they move from the more moderate Iranian government, in which we were able to force a nuclear deal with, to the Trump version, Le Pen version of the Iranian state, which is a lot more religious, conservative, and death to America, people who chant death to America. And a lot of this is the reason that the conservative branch has a chance to win is because Trump and his administrations instituted new sanctions, basically going back on the deals that the Obama administration had made with other European countries and Iran, that they were going to soften the sanctions on them if they complied with all their rules, or all the guidelines laid out in the agreement. And Trump broke that, and now the religious right-wing faction of the government, as pissed as in the U.S., the right-wing government was pissed about globalization. So it just seems to be a revolving circle. Well, if you're an ass, we're going to be a bigger ass. So that's where we are this week. We'll see how this week turns out. Maybe I'll be able to exchange my currency back up to 118. Resist. Keep moving on.